Treylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, or Drake London? If the Jets decide to go wide receiver at number 10, which receiver do you think is the best fit for the New York Jets and can have the biggest impact? I will break down scouting reports and film on each receiver, and I'll give you my opinion of who would make the biggest impact on the New York Jets. What's going on, Jets family? If you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you like the content, please subscribe. Also, liking would help. And I also look forward to the comments in every video. I answer everyone, and I look to continue the conversations going forward. So if you followed me on Twitter, I've been pretty vocal that the Jets need to get a top-notch wide receiver at the number 10 slot in the draft, regardless if they get a veteran wide receiver in free agency, which I think they should. I think they need another veteran presence. However, a lot of the receivers that are in free agency really don't excite me because a lot of them have a lot of miles on them and have gone through some pretty substantial injuries. So that's why I think that the Jets need a receiver to grow with Zach Wilson, just like Elijah Moore is growing with him right now. And right now I'm going to be breaking down film and have scouting reports on the top three wide receivers in the draft, which are Garrett Wilson, Drake London, and Treylon Burks. This is the first time I'm doing a video like this, so I'm pretty excited. And I'm going to start with Garrett Wilson. So Garrett Wilson is 6 feet tall, 188 pounds, coming out of Ohio State, which has pretty much been a wide receiver factory in terms of churning out prospects for the NFL. Some notable ex-receivers from Ohio State are Chris Carter, who's a Hall of Famer, Michael Thomas, who's on the borderline of being a Hall of Famer, Terry Glenn, Santonio Holmes, just to name a few. So if you're coming out of Ohio State with that kind of reputation, you have a pretty good feeling that he's going to be a really good prospect. So if you've been around social media the past few days, you've probably seen this video either on Instagram or it's been shared on Twitter or Facebook of Garrett Wilson running routes, and you could already see the explosiveness. And he makes like these really violent cuts that definitely would get separation. So, and you could tell the explosiveness from just watching this video. I mean, it's really impressive, some of the cuts that he makes, especially this double cut right there. I mean, that's really impressive. And he's an explosive athlete and is a danger to take it all the way from anywhere on the field. Okay, here's some game footage on Garrett Wilson. Watch him at the top of the screen. I want you to see at the end of this route how open he is. This is a recurring theme in the clips that I'm going to show you. All right, look, he's 5 yards away from the nearest defender. I mean, that is some serious separation right there that he gets on that deep ball right there. Now, here's another clip where he's in the slot right now. Watch how open he gets after one cut. Right there, he's got 2 or 3 yards on the defender. Now, watch his escapability right here to avoid this tackle. Right there, and he still keeps chugging right there, gets a few more extra yards. Again, the theme of this video is the separation he gets. He seems to get a lot of separation. Now in this video, he's on the slot in the bottom left right there. So watch his shiftiness in a way to avoid this double tackle right there. Look at that. 2 guys running right into each other. The escapability this guy has is tremendous. And that's why he's a threat to take it all the way in screen passes or wherever he is on the field. He's definitely a threat. Look at this one. Cuts across the field from the X position. almost used the referee as a screen right there. Look at that separation. 5 yards from the defender right there, and he's able to acquire a lot of yak yards right there. So, and he scores a touchdown. Fabulous, fabulous athlete with great maneuverability. Here he is one more time at the X position at the top of the screen. I want you to run. This is a simple little crossing route. But watch, he gets a pick from the referee and the tight end right there to create more separation. I mean, that's really clever. Once again, 5 yards between him and the nearest defender. I mean, it's amazing his route running abilities, and the way he gets separation is brilliant. I've heard a lot of comparisons to Stefon Diggs, which is big shoes to fill, but I can definitely see it from the way he runs his routes. I mean, Stefon Diggs has exceptional route running ability, but Garrett Wilson seems to have some of those great traits. And that was a difficult catch too. That throw was behind him. So this guy is a freakish athlete, no doubt about it. Once again, from a different angle. Passes behind him, but he was still able to get it, no problem. He also has very good hands, which I failed to mention. So this kid definitely has it. So I could definitely see JD going with Garrett Wilson. And, you know, using him and Elijah Moore alternating between the slot and the X, he seems like out of the three that would work the best with LaFleur's system, which emphasizes route running. Look at that double move right there at the top of the screen. I mean, the corner had no chance on that. Once he got him to bite on the slant, he went right outside and it was all over from there. So I'm definitely impressed with this kid, and I can definitely see why JD might definitely take Garrett Wilson with the number 10 pick. Look at this one more time. Steps into the ground, moves back to the outside, and it's all over, baby. So the next player I'm going to focus on is Drake London from USC, 6'5", 210. Been compared to Mike Evans and Marquise Colston. Very big physical receiver, definitely a red zone threat. Definitely wins a lot of contested balls, a lot of 50-50s, uses his big body very well. Doesn't have the most speed in the world. He's sub 4.5, but he can get down the field and definitely win those 50-50 balls in the air and could be a very big red zone presence. So here I'm going to break down the scouting report and the video of him right now. Okay, here's Drake London up top in the slot, which is very unusual for a guy his size to do, but he's definitely productive in the slot as well as at the X or Y position. So there he is, makes a little double move and is able to get some separation, maybe 2 yards right there. And watch this little move right here. Just makes a little cut right there and is able to get a good 5-6 extra yards. And this one's a good one. He's up top in the X position. And watch how many people it takes to get this guy down. Look at how physical he is. Nice little spin move there. And it takes about 5 guys to get this guy down. I mean, just totally physical. And the competitive spirit he has to not be brought down is definitely impressive. This one, he's in the X again, and this is what he does best, in my opinion, is get the deep balls, win the 50-50s. He's not like Garrett Wilson where he gets a ton of separation. In fact, in most of these clips, he gets very little separation, but he makes up for it with his big body and able to locate the ball at its highest point. This one is another one at the top of the screen right here. Was able to stop on a dime and get a little bit of separation and able to pick up the extra yards right there for about a 30-yard gain right there. Again, very hard to bring down. Definitely excellent competitive spirit to try to fight for those extra yards and will not be brought down easily. He has to be brought down by two or three different players on the defense right there. So nice little move, cut to the inside, and runs for another 10 yards. Now this is what the Jets need the most. The Jets were 21st in red zone production in 2021. Look at this guy at the top of the screen. Get the ball at its highest point. Again, the 50-50 balls and using his height and his catch radius to get that ball right there. That's what is sorely lacking right now is a guy to win the 50-50 balls in the end zone to get those touchdowns right. Okay, here it is one more time. Look at how he seals his body off to the defender right there, and all the quarterback has to do is just loft it up there for him, and he can just use his size and strength to get that ball for a touchdown, something the Jets sorely need going forward in 2022. Okay, this clip right here, he's at the top of the screen, and he's going to be doing a slant across, and watch how he seals his body off from the defender, gets in front of the defender, prevents an interception, and goes in for a touchdown. That's how you can use his big body right there. I mean, very impressive, right there on a slant. Here's another look at it. Just a basic slant pattern right there. Puts his foot in the ground. And watch him seal off the safety right there. And get right in front of him and take the ball away and score a touchdown. Very impressive, very physical. All right, here's another one where he's at the top of the screen in the X position. And this is, again, throw it up to him and let him go get it with that big body right there. Watch him, again, gets right in front of the defender and makes a really impressive catch right there at the top of the route right there. Just, again, big body, physical, and to locate the ball at its highest point. Look at all the quarterback has to do is just throw it up there for him and he'll go get it. Watch him seal off the cornerback right there and just gets it at its highest point. Now, my only critique of Drake London is that he can't get much separation, and it seems like all of his catches are contested ones, which is very impressive, don't get me wrong, but the lack of separation does worry me a little bit when it comes to him. So, but again, the Jets need a big red zone presence, and he can definitely be that guy if the Jets want him at number 10. So last but certainly not least is Treylon Burks, the wide receiver from Arkansas. He's kind of like in between Garrett Wilson and Drake London. He could do a lot of the same things that both of them can. Big body receiver, 6'3", 225, sub 4.4 speed. There's even rumors that I've heard on Reddit that he might run a 4.2 in the combine. And if that's the case, look out. His stock is going to go through the roof. So definitely big body receiver and is kind of like a Swiss Army knife in the same way Deebo Samuel is, who's been compared a lot to. You could run him out of the slot. You could do the X and Y. He could run out of the backfield. He can even, do some reps as a running back. So he's definitely a versatile weapon that could be definitely used in the Mike LaFleur offense. And in this film breakdown, I'm going to highlight his versatility. So in this clip, Burks is in the slot right now. He's being given a good 10-yard cushion by one of the safeties right there. Look at him blow by him. This should be a touchdown right here, but this throw is offline. And look at the adjustment he makes in midair to get that ball. Amazing athleticism to get that ball. If that ball had been thrown in the right spot, that's a touchdown with Treylon Burks' speed. Okay, so he's at the top of the screen right now in a bunch formation. This is a screen pass right here. Now watch this. This is just pure speed right here. as he blows by, gets in between two defenders right now, and he's off to the races, and he will not be caught for a 91-yard touchdown. That would be a big threat that Mike LaFleur can use in his offense. Definitely a versatile weapon, can use him in the slot, can use him in the X and Y, can even use him out of the backfield as a running back, coming out as a receiver. So a very, very versatile weapon that Mike LaFleur can use for this offense. So right here, he's at the bottom of the screen right now. And again, watch the separation he gets while the ball is in the air. Right now, he's in a bump and run coverage, but look at it right now. He's good 3 yards ahead of the defender. Even though he stumbles, he regains his balance and was able to take it in for a touchdown. Now, I want you to watch the slow-mo replay and watch his hands. His hands, fighting off the defender and able to get separation, even though it was a bump and run coverage right there. So just wait for the slow-mo right here. Okay, here it is again in slow motion. Again, at the bottom of the screen. Watch his hand movements and the way he's able to create separation from pretty much nothing. So there it is. The receiver goes in motion. And watch him. Is in a bump and run, tight coverage. Now watch the hands. How he's able to get separation, and then eventually the speed just takes over. And by the time he catches this ball, he's in front of the defender by a good 3 yards right there. So amazing, amazing athleticism. Okay, these next two clips show off his amazing athleticism right here. This is similar to some of the Drake London catches right here. Going deep, and watch how he shields off the defender. And look at this catch right here. That is amazing athleticism right there. Get the ball at its highest point. Beautifully done right there. And here's another clip. Is pretty much the same thing right here. He's in the X position and once again going deep. And same thing right there. Get it at its highest point. Beautifully done by Treylon Burks. This guy is a player for sure. Okay, so he's in motion right now, going from bottom to top right now, and they set up a screen right here. Great blocking, and it's just all speed right to the end zone. Again, this just shows off his versatility, that you could use different schemes, use different formations, to get him open. He's basically a Swiss Army knife. And that's definitely what is needed in the NFL, somebody who could do a little bit of everything. Okay, I mentioned versatility. Here he is in motion, getting the jet sweep, and it's basically all speed from here. Again, you can use him in a variety of different ways, and he will be successful. And you can't outrun him with that speed right there. I'm telling you right now, it will not shock me if he runs a 4.2 at the combine. And if he does, look out. His stock is going to soar. You can see why in these clips that he's being compared to Deebo Samuel and A.J. Brown. I mean, complete versatility, can be used in any way, shape, or form. Just an amazing athlete. And here's the last one right here. He's in the slot. And this is, again, just pure speed and locating the ball right here. He just blows by the safety right there and just locates the ball, and it's all over from there. So there you have it, guys. There's my film breakdown of Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, and Drake London. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. It's my first time doing this, like I said, and I've had a blast doing this, and I would like to do this again. But it really goes to show you how important a game-changing wide receiver can be to a franchise. Look at what Jamar Chase has done with Cincinnati. He and Joe Burrow took this team from 2-14 3 years ago to now being one game away from the Super Bowl. And same thing with Stephon Diggs. When he came to Buffalo, that offense just took off along with Josh Allen. It's vitally important you have a game-changing wide receiver. Yes, we have a ton of holes to fill, but to me, wide receiver is one of the biggest ones. Yes, we should get a veteran presence to be a leader among the wide receiving core, but we still need that explosive, game-changing wideout that really can make this difference and could unlock a lot of things for this offense. So I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I have. And once again, go Jets.